Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adrienne and today I'm wearing a very loving shirt because I feel like I'm gonna say some mean things about books today. I'm doing the anti-TBR tag, which was created by Nicole in her book. I will link her down in the description and I'm gonna answer the questions that she came up with. So the first is a popular book that everyone loves that you have no interest in reading, and that is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. I recently read The Secret History by Donna Tartt and I hate it. I made a whole video about why I hate it if you're interested. And If We Were Villains is always described as The Secret History, or for fans of The Secret History, plus Shakespeare instead of Greek literature, which I'm not a Shakespeare fan, or I wouldn't get the references anyway, so it's like I'm not going to put myself through that torture again of reading anything like The Secret History. And then also Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This one doesn't have a particular reason, but it's about the son of the American president, I think, and some royalty from England or something. I forget. Which the premise sounds cute. I just feel like I won't enjoy it as much as everyone else does, so I'm just not gonna read it. Next is a classic book or author that you have no interest in reading, and I don't have a particular answer. I feel like I could say all of them because there aren't many that are on my TBR, but also I could say none of them because hopefully one day I'll just get really into classics and want to read all the classics. So I don't have any immediate interest in any classics that I can think of, but I hope that one day I will. Number 3, an author whose books you have no interest in reading, and an old answer that feels no longer relevant is John Green. I couldn't care less. But then a more current author I'm not interested in would be Alex North. He wrote The Whisper Man and The Shadows and maybe something else. But it seems like those are mystery, suspense thrillers where people suspect supernatural, paranormal things are going on, but they're not. And I mean, I've never read one, so I don't actually know that, but I'm pretty sure it's never anything paranormal, but people think it might be a little bit paranormal. I just know it would let me down when you get to the point of, ooh, we're so creeped out by this possible monster or ghost, and then it'll turn out, nope, it's just a regular human doing bad stuff, so not interested. And then the second half of that question is a problematic author that you don't plan on reading from, and I would say maybe, I know American Dirt sounded like big trouble, don't want to read that, but otherwise I can't remember who's problematic. Next is an author that you've read a couple of books from and decided they're just not for you. Riley Sager. He's not for me, and I'm sad about it because I love the premises of his books so much, but they're just not for me. I read probably 80 or 100 pages of Final Girls, didn't care. I read Lock Every Door, and everyone loved this so much, and the ending of it for me was so lame. And then Home Before Dark, loved this premise so much. Loved the flashes to, in the story there's a character whose dad wrote a haunted house story. I loved his story, but the main character in the present day timeline, I didn't like her story. I didn't like the reveal at the end. I didn't like most of the book. I don't enjoy his writing. I feel like I enjoy some elements that he writes, but there's never enough that makes it worth it for me. And I did have his other book, The Last Time I Lied, which I lent out, and that person supposedly thinks that book is theirs, even though it's not. But I'm like, oh well, I don't care because I don't want to read it anyways. Next is a genre you have no interest in or that you've tried to get into but couldn't. I guess I'll say romance for this, but lightly say that. I'll say I can't get into most or have no interest in most romance, but there have been an occasional one that I did enjoy, and I'll still give them chances in the future. but I'm just not a huge romance reader. Then a book that I bought but never plan on reading. I have two answers for that. One is The Immortalist by Chloe Benjamin. I was never really interested in this book, but I was out of town on a group girls trip. I really wanted to go to this used bookstore. It's a very cute, quaint little store. Between the cute little old woman collecting the donations and the fact that I drug everyone into a bookstore, I feel like I just had to get something. So I got this because, I mean, I've heard of it before, so I just bought it, but I really don't think I'll ever read it. And I don't even think when I bought it, I thought that I would read it. I just felt pressured to buy something. And then also I went to a dollar book sale before just to get books to use as decor. So I have 9 or 10 books that I bought just to throw away the dust jackets and put the naked hardbacks on these floating shelves on my wall. And I never planned to read them. I literally only bought them because I like the color of the naked hardcover. That feels very sacrilege, but they're very pretty. Next is a series you have no interest in reading or a series you started and have DNF'd. So a companion series that I'm no longer interested in is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. I read this. People love this book. I didn't really enjoy it. It was such a drag to get through, and I understand why people love it. Like, it's very sweet and kind and cute and loving and all these things, but I just don't care. It's way too much. Is too gushy, mushy for me. There are companion books about Danny Brown and the other Brown sister, Chloe's sisters, and I don't care. And lastly, a new release that I have no interest in reading. There are probably a zillion of them. My Dark Vanessa, Cemetery Boys, These Violent Delights, actually both of them. There's just so many books coming out nowadays that it's hard to be interested in all of them because there's just so many. And I'm really trying to, like Nicole said in her original tag video, curate my reading into only books that I truly want to read. So it's okay. I don't have to be interested in those. So that is it. That is my anti-TBR. You'll never see any of those books on my TBR list. So there you have it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.